everybody, and welcome to Jointly Speaking. My name is Barbara, and I do want to apologize to you for not having done the last couple of months with the show. But as you all know, we're all trying to deal with the COVID 19 pandemic, and that's been kind of difficult. And we at the studio could not find a way. I had to find a way not to be at the studio, not to pick up the equipment or have it delivered because you couldn't touch each other. Anyway, we think we have solved it. So I want to welcome you today. I'm very glad to be here. I'm very excited to be back and doing this. I love helping people. It's my favorite thing to do. So let's get going. So let's talk. First, I do want to thank Northborough Cable TV for allowing me to do this with them and they're helping me in recording and all of the equipment that they use. So thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. So today we're going to talk, I decided, about food. Now, it's a good point to talk about it at this time. When you think about it, you're at home, you're not working, you're bored to death. So what do? You open the refrigerator. Doesn't everybody? I know I do. But that can become a problem, but in many different ways. And if you're a senior citizen, you may be living alone and have to buy food and buy too much. So I'm going to kind of take it from the point of the senior citizen today, just as a point of view. And the younger people could learn from it as well. So let's talk about it just a little bit. So first of all, I love to eat. I'm not going to say I don't. I enjoy my desserts occasionally. I'm not a big dessert lover, but I do enjoy them when I have them. I'm more the main course type person. So what I wanted to do was kind of show you how to go shopping, how to buy things, and not buy so much that you waste what you bought. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's buying chicken and throwing it out because I didn't get to eat it. I hate that. It drives me crazy. So, and I'm sure it would drive you the same way. So let's talk about that. Let's talk first of all about, let's start with, let's say, breakfast things, English muffins, things like that, things that you eat. Please close it, and things like that you eat. The whole purpose of that, breakfast, it's easy. It's not anything that you have to buy in months in advance, and you can cook it and prepare it daily, which I think is a fantastic way to go. So, you keep your juice, your coffee, and things like that. Those are fairly easy to keep. So you don't have a big problem. Fruit, fresh fruit if you like it. Make sure you get it on time. And let's talk about fruit. Whether you have fruit at dinner time or lunchtime or you have it for breakfast, the one thing you should do is buy it. I like to buy it bought, chopped up. It's great. Buy watermelon, pineapple, whatever, oranges, peaches, I don't know, whatever. But ask the produce department in your grocery store to cut it up for you. And have them cut up what you want, like maybe 3 peaches, maybe 2, who knows. You don't have to buy 16 peaches and have them cut up because they won't keep. And you want things that are going to keep in your fridge. So you buy that, and maybe you'll take it home. Maybe you'll freeze half of it and then eat the other half. And that's a very good possibility. And that's something else that you can do. You can freeze it when you get it home and put a date on it. Just be sure you put a date on it, please. And then you eat the fresh fruit that you have acquired. It'll keep better, and you'll enjoy it more, and it will save you money. I truly, truly believe that. You have to think about what you're going to eat, how long the food lasts. I mean, that's just common sense nowadays. Unfortunately, we all do. But anyway, so fruit is something that you can cut up, divide, and freeze. Put it in a container, freeze what you want, and eat what you want right away within a day or two. Okay? That's what I would suggest to you. Because I believe in eating very small. So that could be a problem for some of you, maybe. But it's okay. I like a baked potato or a sweet baked potato. I don't like a mash so much anymore. I'm getting away from that. And I like the baked potato. And I'll tell you why. The potatoes last. You can cook them up and they're fantastic. You don't have to worry about them going bad unless they've been in your refrigerator for a month or two. Then you got a problem. But anyway, I take a sweet potato, I bake it up, and this may sound weird, but I like to bake it for an hour and a half at 400. I want to be sure it's thoroughly cooked, where it's really soft inside. You don't want it partially hard, unless you prefer it that way. If you do, that's fine. Have it either way. And then I bake it, and when I take it out of the oven, I split it in half lengthwise. I put butter in it and just a little bit of brown sugar. And you would be amazed at the taste of that sweet potato. It is unbelievable. Very good. And it's also very healthy. Sweet potatoes have been known to be healthier for you than a regular white potato. So that's something of importance when you think about your vitamins, your calories, everything. So if you can eat sweet potatoes, start eating them. They really are very tasty. Like I said, all you need is a little bit of butter on them. If you want to put brown sugar on them, maybe even white sugar. I've never tried it. I have to be honest. Maybe confection sugar. Maybe I wouldn't put maple syrup on it. That would be a little too sweet, I think. But I really go for the brown sugar on that. But anyway, but that's something you can eat. It's healthy. It's good for you. It's not going to be that fattening, so you don't have to worry about the calories. Not too much. Not really. But anyway, but it's something to think about. And you can have a baked white potato too. I find, and this may sound weird to people, but I find that the baked white potato is very hard to get cooked thorough. I'm never satisfied with how long I cook it for. If anybody's got any cues, I'd love to hear it. And I'll give you my email address in a little bit. But that's something to very seriously consider, how to get them cooked and cooked well. But anyway, those are a couple of hints for you on your baking potatoes if you want to. Chicken. Let's talk about a little bit of meat. Oh boy, meats. Go crazy with them. I believe you buy what you need, what you're going to eat immediately. If you want to freeze it, that's fine. Go ahead, freeze it. Maybe put a couple of pieces away and freeze it. So what you do is on the chicken. I'm sorry, I got distracted. My apologies. We had a little interference. Anyway, on chicken, you buy what you want on chicken. I buy a chicken breast, believe this or not, and I cook it up whole, a whole chicken breast. I eat half of it for dinner with my potato and my veggies, and the other half I save for the next day and have a little sandwich. That way I haven't wasted it. And it doesn't sit in the refrigerator for 4 or 5 days and then you throw it out. That's the worst habit I think we have is we cook food, we think we're going to eat it, and then we end up throwing it out. It's not good. It's not healthy to try and even eat it at that point. So try to minimize how you're cooking and not cook excessively. Cook what you know, what you guarantee you're going to eat immediately, and then freeze the rest of it for another meal. One meal only. Highly recommend it. So then what I do is my leftover chicken, within the next day or two, I have a chicken sandwich with it. I don't necessarily heat it up and have it as a hot meal again. I make it as a sandwich for another night. And that's what will work with you. You can't necessarily do that with steaks, but like with ham, you can buy sliced ham now, the big pieces that are, thicker, and you can cut it in half and eat half the first day and freeze the other half and have it when you feel like it. And that's the way to do it, to save your food, to be sure your food is fresh and that you're getting what you really want on your food. I think it's very hard for people to realize they don't need to buy an army of food and then keep it and then waste it and then throw it out. To me, that's the saddest thing you can do, is to buy something nice in the meat aisle or whatever, and then have to throw it out. So try and concentrate on your food cooking in that sense, that your quantity is lower and how you save it in your refrigerator is the key. Freeze it or eat it the next day, one of the two. You don't really have much of a choice there, I'm sorry. But I really believe you have to eat your food immediately without wasting it because it's fresher. And you know, when you think about it, if you cook something and you eat it, you want it to taste good. And if it doesn't taste good, then you're probably not going to eat it. So don't bother cooking it, okay? We want you to have it and just have it so it tastes good for you. And you know, we'll eat it. And that'll work for you, okay? So that's something you want to think about. That goes with any kind of meat. Like I said, your steak, a filet, buy a filet, cut it in half, eat half one day, freeze it, and have the other filet at another time. You can do it. It's very possible to cook your food that way and still have it fresh and good because you want it fresh with all the nutrients. That's the whole purpose, you know, and eating. And I think that's one big thing. And I know, especially now with all of us being home with the COVID-19, oh boy, don't you want to be in the refrigerator? Yes, I do. I love being there. And it's not a good thing to do. I know I need to eat, but I also know I need to watch what I eat and how much I'm eating. What I'm afraid of, and this may sound very familiar to some of you, if you start eating like chocolate puddings every day, then when you go back to work, you're going to want chocolate puddings every day. And they're really not that healthy for you when you think about it. It's not really that good for you. So you really want to protect yourself and eat within reason and eat what is necessary and eat what is healthy. Those are the keys. I mean, every once in a while you go out and buy some nachos. Yeah, sure, have some. That's fine. But while you're at home with this COVID-19, I think just please pay attention to what you're eating and how you're eating it and how much, because that's going to be the answer to you. That's going to protect you in the long run and keep you safe and keep you healthy. We all love to eat. We know that. And like I said, with desserts, oh, that's a big problem. Desserts can drive you crazy. But I tried to figure out what I could eat that would be a good dessert in the sense that it wouldn't go bad and I could freeze part of it. And you know, that was a hard decision. I did buy watermelon, and I had the grocery store man cut up the watermelon into chunks, and I got what I wanted. You know, 2 or 3 slices maybe chopped up, and that's enough for me. And I can have that in the evening to snack on or to have as a dessert, and that would work for that. And then I looked at pies. I thought, oh, an apple pie is nice, or a cream pie. But if you thaw it, you got to eat it. You can't reheat, you can't refreeze that pie after you've thawed it. So now you got another issue. So I didn't like that idea. So I went around and I went to the deli. I'm sorry, not the deli department, to the bakery department. And I found out I could buy a smaller apple pie. It looked like a little tiny 6-inch one. Or I could get a half of a big pie, a large pie, cut it in half, and I could take half home, and they would sell the other half. And that worked for me because that would give me 2 or 3 slices. I could freeze one if I wanted to, or 2 of them, and just have one for that particular day that I was buying it. There are ways that you can do that with your desserts and not have to waste the money you spend on them and waste the food. It's very hard to replenish anything when, or try to eat it when it's really 5 or 6 days old. It just don't work. And you've got to be careful because you're at home for so long right now and you're eating it. If you eat something bad, you could get sick from it. And we don't want that. Above all, we don't want that. You got enough problems worrying about the virus without worrying about your tummy too. So let's pay attention and try and concentrate on what we're eating. Buy smaller portions. Divide those portions in half. Freeze one if you can, and eat the other one. There are all kinds of ways that you can do it. I don't know the answer to all of them, and I'm not going to pretend to. But I do know you've got to watch what you're eating, how much you're eating, and when you're eating it. That's the key. And we want to do that for everything. So I hope you work on that part of it anyway, and that'll help you with it. And that'll keep you pretty much healthy, as far as the desserts go. I found the desserts the hardest thing to divide and conquer, so to speak, to get them in smaller portions. It was very hard to do. It really was. And even though you could buy puddings individually, I know at the grocery store, they don't last. And I don't know if those particular puddings, the individual ones, freeze well. I honestly don't know. I haven't tried them. But if somebody has, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. But that's something that's very important. You can buy the packaged mix, and it can be all prepared for you, but it can only keep for so long, and then you have to worry about eating it. And that's one place I don't want to put anybody in. I think that's the hardest. The pies you can handle pretty much. And when you go to Publix or a grocery store, whatever it's in your neighborhood, you could buy muffins. And you could freeze them. Freeze X amount of them and keep 2 or 3 out for yourself. And they would probably be okay. And buy only 6 muffins. Don't go outrageous and buy a dozen and a half, unless you got a big family. Then you can. But just buy enough for you so that you'll have a few there. And it will satisfy your desire when you want a dessert. I think that's the key. And just remember, you want to buy in proportion to what you eat, how many you'll eat, how many can you freeze, and think of it in terms of that, because that's the hardest thing to do. Let me tell you, it's not easy, folks. I've been trying, and I think desserts are one of the harder ones. The other part of your meal that you can deal with is your vegetables. Take your vegetables, buy what you want, cut them, prep them. And what I would do is when you cut them up, and this is something I've learned, what you do is when you cut them up, cook the ones you're going to eat. The ones you're not going to eat, put in the freezer and freeze them, and they will keep. You can do it. It's easy. It's simple. Or if you want to cook them up and then freeze them, you can do it that way as well. I prefer to freeze them first and then just take them out when they're frozen and start cooking them up so that I have really fresh vegetables when I cook them, and proportion-wise. And that's something a lot of people, I don't think, are doing these days, is eating as many fresh foods as they could. And I prefer that. So something to do. So you could buy like your carrots and cut them up, cook the ones that you want for dinner tonight, and then freeze the rest of them. And you can break the portions up. You can, especially with carrots, you can get so many carrots. What you can do with carrots is you can put 2 or 3 bags of, bunches in the freezer. Don't hesitate. You're going to have quite a few after you pick out what you're going to have for that particular meal, if you're alone, especially. So that's something else you want to consider. Break them down, put in proportion, do everything proportion-wise. And what I recommend to people is wrap your vegetables in wax paper and then put them in a plastic bag. Tape them up in the rack. Yeah, I'll get it right. Wrap them up in the wax paper, tape it in the wax paper, then put them in a plastic bag with other portions of your veggie. That way you can add more. If you just throw them in with the wax paper, it's going to fall apart. but tape it with Scotch tape, and that'll hold it together. And then you can put several individual bags into one bag and then freeze them that way. And that would work also for you. Just another simple way of, I think, of doing it. I know you say it's not simple, you have to do a little extra work. Well, yeah, that's true, you do. But it's worth it in the long run if you're going to enjoy the meal. Whether it be a vegetable, whether it be your meat, your dessert, all of them can be fixed and planned and proportioned. It's a matter of just taking a few extra minutes and do it. And right now, you got all day. You're home. You're not working. Think about it. So you got plenty to do. Nothing to do. So whichever way, find something to do with your cooking and balancing your meal so it comes out a little bit better for you. I think in the long run, I think you'll enjoy your meal more. And I think you'll take pride in the fact that, gee, I cooked a home cooked meal. I didn't buy it out of a can. Because so many times we buy a can, we open it and heat it up and eat it. And that's not really what I call a meal. I'm very picky. So I highly recommend that you do something like that. Just plan your portions out and work at it. There are some things I'm sure that will not freeze as well. You don't want to do it, and I understand that. But the ones that you can, try to do it. Proportion, cut them, get them prepped, get them cleaned, whatever you have to do for the veggie, and get the chicken ready. And the steak, of course you can't steak. Who's going to have steak? Well, we'll have steak once in a while, maybe once every 3 months. But there are other things, that ham, sliced ham, and other things that you can get in the meat counter. So don't give up on it. And seafood. Oh boy, seafood you could have a field day with. I love lobster, of course, needless to say, but I like my shrimp. I like crab meat. I like tuna fish. And I use every one of those somehow by portioning them out. I only buy what I know I'm going to need. Like I go into the meat counter at the grocery store and I ask for a half a pound of whatever fish I want. I don't go beyond that. Never. I get a half a pound and that works for me. And that, as a single individual, that's what I have to do. And you want to base it on that as far as your own family goes, too, when you're planning. So try and do it that way. It's an interesting project when you're having to cook and make things taste good. And then again, once you get your meat, you know what you're going to do, then you got to flavor it, and that's up to you. I won't even begin to touch that. It's too hard to compliment everybody on what they do, so I'll let you compliment yourself, and hopefully you'll do a good job. But I do know it's hard right now with us all staying home, and we're going to gain weight, and that's the last thing I want from anybody. You don't want to gain weight. It's not healthy, and it could bring on other conditions later. So just be aware that you should be eating accordingly. Try and eat it, a sandwich maybe for one meal, a big meal, and then however you want to eat for breakfast is okay with me. I'm not much of a breakfast person. I'm more of the coffee and the juice and toast with cream cheese on it. That's my limit. But that's up to you, and you can do it. Whatever you need. I just don't want you to get sick from being home and having nothing else to do but eat. And that could be dangerous. So I really want you to be careful with that. Now, I was going to give you my email before I forget it. You can write me at Jointly Speaking Podcast at gmail.com. I'll say that again. Jointly Speaking Podcast at gmail.com. And you can email me anything you want. You ask me questions if you'd like. Ask me if there's something you would like me to talk about. I would love to hear from you. I'm open. I talk about doctors, hospitals. I'll talk about food. I'll talk just about anything. And I just want to, I'm better with the medical field, but because I've been through it, and I find that as a layperson, you learn a lot. And so I like to talk about that a lot. But I'm also willing to talk about anything else. So if you have something else, let's try it. I'm more than willing. Don't hesitate to ask me. And if you have criticism, I expect you to tell me. And if you are happy with the show, I'll take that too. I'll take whatever you offer. So don't worry about it, okay? So again, it's jointly speaking podcast at gmail.com. Okay. Okay. Well, what I'd like to do about this time of every show is I'd like you to sit down in a comfortable chair, not too comfortable, a chair that you can move around in a little bit. And we're going to do some exercises. So your chair, I prefer you sit in a chair that has arms because it will keep you from slipping off the chair, or make, just in case, and be safe. It can be a straight up chair. You can sit in the recliner, whatever. Just keep the recliner upright. That would be my only comment on that. Okay? All right, let's go. What I like to do first is start with a deep breathing technique that I learned through exercising for many, many years, which is really easy. I want you to close your eyes and close your mouth, and I want you to inhale through your nose and fill up your lungs to the best that you can. Don't force it. Let's do it gently, okay? So inhale, and once you've got that done, open your mouth, and I mean slowly let the air out. Don't blow it out. Let it out slowly, real slow. Let the air just come out of your mouth, okay? Do it gently. Okay? Very good. Okay, let's try that again. Let's inhale with our eyes closed and our mouth closed. Okay? And now exhale when you're ready. Let it out very slowly. Very good. Just do it gently. It helps to relax you to get ready. We'll do one more and then we'll start exercising. And one more exercise, one more deep breathing. Inhale, fill them up, and then exhale slowly. If you do it correctly, you'll find that exhaling takes longer than the inhaling, believe it or not. I just realized that recently. Okay, we're done. Okay, well, let's start with our feet today. So you're sitting down, make sure both feet are flat on the floor, okay? And I want you to lift your toes up, keeping your heels on the floor. So you're just going to raise the front of your foot a little bit. It won't be a lot, but it'll be a little bit. And then bring it back down, okay? And let's do it again. Bring your toes up. And lower them back down when you're ready. And one more time, bring your toes up and lower them back down. And you can have your shoes on if you want it. You can take them off. I'm, it's entirely up to you. I take my shoes off, but that's me. And then the other thing we're going to do is keep your toes on the floor and raise your heels up a little bit. You won't do it much, but it's a little bit. Okay? Toes on the floor, heels up. Raise them up. Like I said, it won't be much. But you can feel the movement in your instep. Pull it up. One more time. Bring your heel up and lower it back down. Very good. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is I want you to straighten your right leg out. You've been sitting with it bent. I want you to bring it up and straighten it out in front of you so it's up in the air. And then bring it back down very slowly. We don't do anything rushing, okay? These are your slow exercises that you have to do, okay? So let's do it again. Bring your foot up and straighten your leg. And all you're doing is raising your foot up, your whole leg up to straighten the knee out. So you got a straight leg. Okay? And bring it back down so it bends. Okay. And let's do it one more time. Raise your right leg up and straighten it. And just hold it for a couple of seconds. And then lower it very, very slowly. Everything we do is done in slow motion on this, okay? No rushing. All right, let's do the left foot. Let's bring the leg up, straighten it out, in front of you. And then bring it back down, okay? Okay. Now bring your left leg up. And bring it back down when you're ready, very slowly. Everything's slow motion today. Okay. Everybody okay? All right, let's try it one more time. Bring that left leg up. And then bring it back down slowly. And that's good. Okay. Now, just sitting there. Now, I want you to put both your feet flat on the floor. And I want you to take your two knees and put them together. Just put them together. And then very gently, I want you to push your knees together. And I want you pushing from both the left side and the right side so that the pressure is even when you're doing it. So let's relax the leg. Okay, now let's put the knees together and push. Just gently, not hard, just gently. And if you do it right, you'll feel it in your upper thigh. You'll feel a little bit of movement. You won't feel much, but you'll feel some kind of motion or movement up there. Okay? All right, push the knees together. And relax. Very good. Okay, let's do it one more time for good luck. Put the knees together and push and relax. And there you go. Now, my favorite exercise, and everybody makes fun of me on this, but that's okay. I can live with it. I want you to pinch your buttocks together. So you're sitting down, just relax, and pinch your butt together, your buttocks. Pinch it together and release it. You don't have to hold it, just pinch it. Okay? So let's try it. Pinch and relax. Very good. Let's try one more time. Pinch and buttocks together. And relax. But you never dreamed you'd be doing this. Okay, one more time. Pinch your buttocks together. And relax. Okay, very good. Those are good. Now, those are some of the exercises that you can be doing. And please understand, you can do them anytime. I do them, what I would recommend you do, I should say, is twice a day, and do 5 at one time, and then do 5 the other time, so that you get at least 10 repetitions in throughout the day. I like to do them in the morning right after breakfast. I just sit there and kind of relax in the chair for a few minutes before I start my day, and I do my exercises. And then the other I do in the evening when I'm watching the news. They don't interfere. If you're watching the news, you can do your exercises. Nothing says you can't. And it works fine. So you want to try that and do that. Okay? Okay. So now we're halfway done with our exercising. So what I want you to do now is take your upper torso and turn it towards the right. I don't want any of your lower body moving. I just want the right torso going to the right. And then bring it back to the center slowly. Okay? And then turn your torso, your upper chest, body to the left. And bring it back. Torso is anything from your waist up, just so you know. Okay. Okay, let's try that again. One more time. Go to the right. Bring it back to the center. Go to the left. Bring it back to the center. One more time. Go to the left. Back to the center. Go to the right. I goofed. Bring it back to the center. I think I misquoted myself on that one. My apologies. Anyway, okay. This is what happens once your first day back doing the radio show after being off the air. You goof. Anyway, but that's the upper torso. Okay, now you've got that done. Now we're going to start with your head. Now I want you to position yourself very comfortably and make sure your head is straight forward. And I want you to turn your head to the right as far as you're able and as comfortable as you can. And bring it back to the front. Go to the left and bring it back to the center. Okay? And that's one whole turn, but anyway. Okay, take your head, go to the right. Bring it back to the center. Go to the left. Bring it back to the center. Slowly does it. Not rushing. Okay, let's go to the right one more time. Go to the right. And bring it back to the center. And stop. Go to the left. And bring it back to the center. It's very important, ladies and gentlemen, that you stop when your face is facing forward, your head is forward. It's very important from the exercise that you stop it just for a second or so and then continue on. It is not a healthy thing just to swing your neck from left to right. You could hurt it, okay? And I don't want that to happen to you. So please, I beg of you, please be careful with that, okay? Okay. All right, our next one. We're going to shrug our shoulders. I know, it doesn't seem like much, but you'll see. Okay, take your shoulders, bring them up as high as you can, and bring them back down. Okay? Okay, let's do them again. You can do both shoulders together at this point. Go up, all the way up as far as you can bring them up, almost touching your ears, so to speak. Okay? Okay. And then bring them back down. Very good. Very good. And bring those shoulders up again, almost to your ears. And then lower them again and bring them back down. Okay. Now the next exercise I'm going to do is part of that, lifting your shoulders, but it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll see when you're doing it because you're going to feel the movement in your shoulder blades in the back, on your back, okay? So what I want you to do is just get comfortable, get your shoulders relaxed and comfortable. And then I want you to bring your shoulders back, just like you're trying to make them meet the middle of your back. And you can feel it up your spine, pushing. You'll feel a little pressure with your shoulder blade all the way across to the spine. It's really weird, I think, but it feels great. I love it. It's my favorite exercise. And bring them out, and then bring them back down to relax. Okay? They get totally relaxed for a second. Okay? Now just bring the shoulders back. Remember, you're not lifting them this time. You're just bringing them back. and you're beating in the back, okay? Okay, do it that way. I want to make sure you understand that. And then relax the shoulders and release them. Them fall forward. You got it. That's the way to do it. Okay, one more time. Bring the shoulders back. And feel that in the back of your spine and your shoulder blades. You can't miss it, believe me. Okay? And then relax and let them fall forward. Very, very good. Okay. Very good. Okay. Now, the next one you're going to do is you're going to raise your right arm up straight in front of you. Straight in front of you. Bring your arm up straight in front of you. And bring it back down. Bring your arm up. And bring it back down. When you're ready. No rushing. Just take your time. Okay? Okay. One more time. Raise your right arm straight up in front of you. Slowly. And then bring it back down. And remember, just go as far as you can with it. If you start to get pain on those shoulders, I want you to stop. Don't go beyond that point of pain. Get to the point of pain and then stop your exercise and come back down. As you're raising it up, you'll feel the pain if you have it. And then go to that point and then say, okay, I got pain, I got to stop. So then just very slowly lower the arm back down. You can still do the exercise, but you can't go beyond the point of pain. That's the key. You don't want to infringe. You don't want to create more problems. You want to make it more comfortable for that. So just as a point of remember, okay? Okay, raise the arm again. Bring it up. And when you're ready, lower it back down. Okay? Raise your arm up. And bring it back down. Okay? And now let's swap and do the other arm. I forget which arm we were doing, left or right, but anyway, do the other arm now. Bring the arm up. And bring it back down. Bring the arm up. Raise it up slowly. Easy does it. And then lower it back down, just as easy. Okay? Okay. And that's what you got to remember to do. You got to keep the movement of the exercise at the same speed. Slow. Very, very slow at all times. You gain nothing by doing an exercise fast. Absolutely nothing. You're better off to go by slow, okay? So just remember. Okay, our next exercise, you don't like this one. I like it. We're going to collect change. So I want you to put your right hand on, you can do them both together if you'd like to. Lay it on your lap or lay it on the arm of your chair, whichever way, with the palm down. The palm of your hand is down on the chair. Okay? Now I want you to flip it over and collect the change from the grocery store. Get your money back. Okay? Okay. And then turn it back and drop the money on the table or on your lap, wherever you left your hand. Always doing it slowly and consistent. Okay? Okay. Turn the hand over. There you go. And then bring it back down. Okay? One more time. Raise the hand over. And bring it back down. Now, if you didn't do both hands together, do the other hand. Hand flat, turn it over, and bring it back. Okay? Good. Very good. Raise your hand over slowly. Collect your money and return it. And then you can drop the money and buy piggy bank if you want. Okay? Okay. One more time. Over and return it. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take your left hand, or arm, I should say, and bring it up. And I want you to take your left hand and reach over and touch your right shoulder if you can. And then bring it back down very slowly to where it's in a straight position again. So you basically, it's straight, you bend it, and then reach over and touch your shoulder. Bring it back down and straighten it out. Okay? Okay, one more time. Left shoulder. Bring the left arm up. Bring it over and touch the shoulder. And bring it back down. Very, very good. Okay. Now next we're going to do the right one. We'll do the right arm. So bring it up, bend it, bring it over, and touch your shoulder. And bring it back and put it flat. Okay? Okay. Raise your hand up. Bring it over to your left shoulder. And when you get there, bring it back down to a straight position.
Really?
Okay? Okay, we're doing one more time. Right arm up. Bend it. Bring it over and across to the left shoulder. And then touch it. And then bring it back down and lower it. And you're done it. You're done good. That's great. That's fantastic. Now, there are more exercises we can do. I try to limit how many I give you. I don't want to overtire you, and I realize it's a lot to be learning if you're learning them for the first time. So I just want you to take your time, and hopefully you'll hear the show the next time, and you'll do them again with me. But these are exercises that keep you moving for your everyday living. And that's what's important. But what you have to realize is you can't rush the exercise. You can't short sheet it, so to speak. You've got to do it slowly and perfect. It takes time, probably maybe about 25 minutes at night for each one, but it's well worth it. And like I said, do 5 exercises in the morning, then take your day, enjoy your day, and do 5 more in the evening. That way you're not tired too much from doing them, and they worked, and they were successful. And that's the whole key on exercises. But you've got to do them at least 3 times a week. If you can do them 4 times a week and feel comfortable, that is fine. But I highly recommend that you do these at least 3 times a week. And I think I've mentioned it in my earlier podcast that I did, because it's truly, truly important that you do 3 times a week. That's when you're going to see the benefit. And you will see the benefit. You'll start to notice, gee, I can raise my arm a little bit higher, or I can move my leg better. It doesn't hurt so much. All of these things will come into play. And I think you'll be very, very surprised when you do see them. So I hope you'll keep that in mind. And we'll keep doing them. That's what keeps us going. But anyway, what I'd like to do now is just say thank you for everybody for your patience for my being off the air. I do apologize for it with the podcast, but it was very hard to figure out how to get the show going again without creating a problem with the virus, or getting the virus, I guess would be a better term to say. But we did it, and now we have it. Now we're up and running, And I can't thank Dana enough from Northpole Cable TV for helping me with all this. I really do appreciate that. It's, it's working together that you get things done. It really is. And you're exercising, and like I said, on your food, don't eat everything in your refrigerator. Please, freeze it. Slowly. Enjoy it. But also, buy less, eat less. Not eat less so much, but buy less and use it up. That's the key. It's not a matter of buying less and eating less. It's a matter of buying less and using it correctly and cooking it and all of that and eating it. And that's what you want to remember. And that's the one thing you want to stay in tune with. And, we don't know how much longer we're going to be at this. We're still in our, another day off. Yep, another day off. But that's bound to be, and it's going to happen. Unfortunately, I think this virus has taken us all by storm and unexpected. But I think we're going to make it through it if we just stick together and use common sense. And I hope you're all doing that. I hope you're all behaving and doing what you can, getting out in the afternoon, taking a walk on the street and exercising. You can do that. That's good for you. So try walking a little bit too. That might help along with everything else, okay? Okay, I just want to make sure. And like I said, if you want to reach me and you want to criticize or you want to compliment, whichever you want to do, you are more than welcome to do. And you may do it by emailing me at jointlyspeakingpodcast@gmail.com. I'll say that one more time. jointlyspeakingpodcast@gmail.com. And I want to wish you all the best. Have a fantastic time. I'll talk to you soon. And remember to stay positive. Always have a positive attitude. Okay? I love you all. Take care. See you soon.